Hello! Can you guys say hey so people know that there's people here and I'm not recording by myself?
Hi.
Hi.
See, there's real people here. Amazing. Okay, so we're
People.
gonna play. We're gonna do stuff today. So we've done enough dilly dallying now. I think we've gotten a little bit of a we gotten a feel for you know what the Unreal has to offer. Yes, I'm a cheater. So I was thinking, like, okay, now that we've sort of played around a little bit and we made some shit, let's actually make a game, all right? Does that sound fun? Make a game? Is that what we're here for? So we're gonna make a game. And I was thinking, yesterday, I was sitting, I was sitting on my front porch in my underwear, thinking, like I always do. And I was thinking, like, what game should we make? And we made like a top-down racing game for FG20. Because I downloaded the wrong version. Okay, games. And so I was actually so scared it was gonna be like some incriminating shit on my desktop. It's gonna be like fucking Pornhub account password or something. But luckily I got rid of that. Okay, so this is gonna be on YouTube, by the way. I'm gonna get fucking banned for that joke. Okay, so I'm just gonna go blank. So we're gonna go blanco, and we're gonna make a top-down racing game. It's gonna be fucking fun. It's gonna be fucking great.
Can you make a tower defense game?
No, we're gonna make a racing game.
Boring.
Dude, shut up.
I wanted to ask.
Respect
actually,
my authority.
Wait, Emil, I have a question. The second option, the maximum quality.
Yeah.
I always feel like I don't need maximum quality. You know, like I'm humble. I always go with the scalable 3D or 2D. What's actually the difference? Because scalable sounds like, well, you can use max quality if you wanna. So
I have
what's the
no earthly idea what these do. So
fuck.
I don't know. Sorry.
No problem. I understand.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, you can change these later. So yeah. But sorry, I have no idea. No starter content. We're not gonna make a fucking mobile game. Come on. We have a few years before we start selling out. Okay, I'm just gonna change the folder a little bit. I'm gonna call it FG Racing Game. And let's go. What template did you use? I used blank. No, I used blank. So we're gonna start from the bottom up, baby. That's good, David. Thank you. Finally, someone who is excited about me as a person. That's a creepy link, David. That looks hella sus. Car kit. Now I'm gonna go into Blender and make some fucking sick, dope ass cars. Well, we're getting stuck at 67%.
Wait, did you say we were going with starter content or not?
No, I didn't go story content.
Okay, and I assume we chose C++ over Blueprint.
Yes. We're coders, after all. Alright, so now we have a blank game. Oh, so clean. Nothing here. Oh, that's what I love seeing. Okay, and we have kind of no code. We got a little bit of code. Got this game mode base for some reason. It doesn't include anything. I don't know why they had this in the in the blank template, but whatever. So Yeah, we're gonna make chess. I'll play as green, and you guys play as blue. We're gonna try to keep everything in C++ now. So while in the real world, I feel like I'm talking like a hillbilly telling my kids about the good old days. In the real world, you would probably do something like a mix of C++ and Blueprint, just so the designers have something to do. But in general, pulling stuff from Blueprint into C++ is really hard, or it's really annoying, I would say. So it's always good to kind of get the habit of at least making like a base class or something in C++, even though you might not use it, even though you might like still make everything in Blueprint. Just because that makes it so easy to like reference. It's like, oh, if suddenly in C++ you need to reference something in Blueprint, which becomes super annoying, like a class that only exists in Blueprint. If you have to reference that class somehow, it's just so much easier if you already have kind of a C++ base class for it, even if there's just nothing in it. Because again, Blueprint can always reference everything in C++, but C++ can't reference stuff that is in Blueprint easily. But yeah, that's always a tricky thing to get right. But today is where we're gonna try to make everything in C++ just to see if we can learn everything and become experts. So this is the bank project. It's not very interesting. Like the default players is kind of a spectator thing. So we can kind of run around, and that's it. So let's start out by making a pawn for the player, all right? So we have a car, so that the player can goof around with. So let's make a gosh darn car. So I'm gonna head into the project, FG Racing Game, source, FG Racing Game. I'm just gonna make a new folder. I'm making it through File Explorer. I mean, you could probably make it through Unreal if you want to. It's just that some things you still have to do through the File Explorer, like removing or moving files. That kind of stuff you can only do outside of Unreal. So that's kind of why I always prefer to just do everything outside of Unreal anyway, because that's keep things consistent, I guess, as consistent as they will be. So I'm just gonna make a new folder called player. And in here I'm gonna make some new files. So I'm gonna make car.h and car.cpp. So that's gonna be our pawn. And so we won't use character, because again we're gonna be a car, so we're gonna make everything ourselves. And doesn't that sound fun? Cannot we just use the Unreal C++ class wizard? The class wizard! Like, well, every class has one. Cast fucking flipendo on you. You can, if you want. Yes, no pre-built character stuff. Yeah, let's go. Should we really create a car game now when the fuel is so damn expensive? Yes, Krister will pay for your fuel, so. Holy shit, you got 4 emoji reacts. Oh, it's going down.
I have a question.
Yes.
When I create like my C++ files through Explorer and I open them through Explorer, the IntelliSense from Unreal does not follow along. and that's really annoying.
Did you remake project files? Because I haven't done that
Remake project files.
like this, because that's the next step. We have to go into the U project, right-click, and regenerate Visual Studio project files.
Right, no, I did not do that. Thank you.
Jumping ahead.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Wait, so to get the sort of IntelliSense, you have to, at the second you create the files, you have to sort of rebuild them.
Yes,
Or rebuild
because
the
that will
project.
rebuild rebuild the reflection files as well.
How did you create those C++ files? Because I'm just creating a new text document and it's like, yeah, it doesn't work.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
I just write car.cpp on the text document and it doesn't turn into a C++.
You might have to go into View and file name extensions. Just check that.
Okay. No.
No.
Oh, wait. No. But do I create like a text document? Or
Yeah.
do I create a... Yeah, okay.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what you do in the end, but a text document will be empty, so that's why I usually do that.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, cool. Great. Alright. So now in our Visual Studio project, we should have this player folder or player filter. And here we should have car. Usually you would add some sort of prefix to this. And I'm thinking maybe we should do that actually. Yeah, let's do it. I'm dumb. So we're gonna prefix everything with race. Race car. So I fucked up. That's my bad. So I'm just gonna go in and prefix these files with race. And that's just to avoid naming collisions with Unreal stuff. So that's a very common practice in all game projects, that you will have some sort of prefix to every class and every file, just to avoid conflicts. So I'm just gonna rename those and then regenerate Visual Studio project files. Let's reload. Okay. Let's close those down. And now we have race car. Cool. So in racecar.h, I'm just gonna pragma once. And then I'm gonna make a gosh darn pawn. So we're gonna make a class A race car. And we're gonna inherit from a pawn. And of course, to do that we have to include it. So I'll include... Well, let's figure out where pawn lives. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna open that file. Which I don't know how to do in Visual Studio. Just vanilla. Because I don't have Visual Assist. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, there we go. So I open up the file. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hover over the file, or use some way to get the path to this file. That's just really the important part. Because the problem with Unreal, when it comes to include and stuff, is that they have their own module system. Which is quite a little bit confusing. I don't know if we're gonna have time to talk about it or not, maybe. So it's kind of a bit tricky to figure out sometimes where to find a file, like how to include it. And the way it works is that you look at the path. Can I just go to this? Let's copy this. Right. Yeah, so here's the complete path, right? And the way you look at it is that anything after classes or anything after public See if our path looks like something like this, either of these two. See if I go to public, here you can see a bunch of public headers that we can include, like audio. Anything after classes or anything after public, this is going to be the path to this file that you want to include. So the way this works is that engine, in this case, will be a module in Unreal, and Unreal uses like their own module system, right? And then anything in public and anything in classes will sort of be added to the project as include paths. So if you use type like gamework/pawn, then it will find that, okay, that's in classes, right? So that will be in your include paths for your project. I'm like oversimplifying a little bit, but I'm just telling you kind of shorthand how you would figure this stuff out. So if you want to figure out how to include a file, look for classes or look for public, and then after that, that's the path to the file you're trying to include. Classes or public. If you see private, don't include it. That means you should not include this. So if you see in private here, yeah, it's usually only CPP files in here, but there might be some header somewhere. Camera.
But what if you do?
Might work, might not. I'm not quite sure, honestly. You might be able to do it. You might be able to do it through some hacky ways, but you just don't, because it might not compile on someone else's computer. It's a little bit tricky, that one. Okay. So when you're trying to find a file, look for classes or look for public, and then right after that, that's going to be the path. So in our case for pawn, I see that we have engine/classes and then /game_framework/pawn. Okay, so it's in game framework. So that's so included. Include game framework/pawn.h. All right, and then what we need? What's next? To set up and hook up a class to Unreal.
It's generated dot arrays car. Oh, yeah.
Race car that generated the age. Exactly. Very good. I can put this here too, right?
No,
No?
you cannot. That's stupid, Emil. Don't do that.
Okay, damn, Jesus. All right. All right, and what else? What more do I need to add here?
U-class.
U-class.
U-class, very good. And what more?
Generated body.
Yes, very good. All right, cool. That should be it. I think we're done. So now we have our race car. Very cool. So let's go look at the pawn and just see what it kind of looks like. That's okay. That's not what I wanted. Can I go back? Okay, cool. Let's look at the pawn and see what it kind of looks like. So we have so there's some weird stuff. Here we have U-pawn movement component, which I actually have no idea what that does. Base eye height. Okay, that's confusing. So we have auto possess AI controller, blah blah blah, set player state, blah blah blah. So it's quite a huge class. But I think the good thing about this class is that there's no components, if I remember correctly. Let's just go down and see if there's any components. No. So we don't have any components. I believe. So that's good. So this is kind of a scaled down character, so we can kind of do, just kind of add whatever we want to this guy. That's quite nice. And you see these comments, dude? See how easy this is to read? It's so easy. So let's start up the game and see what we can fucking do. So I'm gonna close down the engine. Thanks, Epic Game Store. And then I'm just gonna start up the game, development editor, start it up, F5. Okay. All right. So I'm going to override our car in Blueprints so we can add some meshes and shit and just kind of see what it looks like. Make a new folder. Call it Blueprints. Yeah, I'll call it Blueprint, whatever. Very common way to set up your project is to use add a Blueprint folder. It's kind of like the script folder in C#, you know. And I'll make a player folder, kind of mirroring the structure that we had in C++. And then here I'll make a Blueprint class. And we're gonna override from our race car. There it is, race car. And I'll call that BP underscore race car. I'd call it car actually. Usually you don't have the prefix in Blueprints. You just call it BP underscore. That's gonna be the Blueprint prefix, and then you just name it, you know, the name minus the whatever the prefix is in code. Okay, cool. So here we can see actually we only have a default scene root, and that's what's actually added in Blueprint. So that doesn't exist in the C++. So that's sweet. We have a very, 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 very scaled down actor here that we can work on. Ain't that something? Ain't that just neat? So what we're gonna do is start adding some components, all right, for the for the car. I'm a little bit tired. So we're gonna start adding some components here that we need in our car. And the first thing we need is a collision, all right? So I'm gonna make a box collision to be the collision of the car. We could probably make that a sphere as well. Like, it's not gonna be like a fucking realistic fucking car simulator. It's gonna be quite cartoony. So it could probably be a sphere, but I will make it a box collision. So I will go into our gosh darn race car, and I'll make a uProperty. I'm gonna make it visible anywhere. And we're gonna make it a uBox component. Box collision. Goddamn, out of intent. Then we'll make a race car constructor. So in the constructor, we're actually gonna make this box component come to life, so to say. Just gonna split this. There we go. Gonna include racecar.h. So this is a CPP file. And box component doesn't seem to be defined here, so I'm just gonna or forward declare it. There we go. And then let's make it. So I'll do box collision is equal to create default subobject uBox component. I will name it collision, sure. And then we'll make that the root component. Hello? A value of type box. Oh, we haven't included it, right? So you can include it. We gotta include it. So let's see where it is. So I'll go to definitions to see kind of what the path to it is. So here we can see runtime engine classes. All right, classes. That's the magic word. And then we have components / box components. So again, everything after classes is good game. So we have components / box component. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. Components / box component .h. Cool. So now I'm just gonna make sure that everything is saved. So I'm just gonna save BP car in the engine, and then we're just gonna restart. So Control Shift F5 just to recompile everything. Thanks, Epic Game Store.
I have a build error.
Oh!
Yay!
What's the error?
Well, missing open parentheses after uClass. But
What?
it looks correct to me.
Send a
So
screenshot.
it's- Yeah,
Screenshot
yeah, sure. Of the error or of the code?
of the code.
Okay, sure.
Bum 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 bum. I can't open it. Like Well, I mean, I can kind of see it.
Yes, there is a space between.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you have spaces there? I know the spaces have fucked before with code.
Okay, let me delete that space and see if it fixes the problem.
Yeah, and paste it
Yeah.
in Discord so I can actually see. This is like
Oh, in Discord. Sorry, I sent it in
yeah,
Teams.
for Teams just won't open it for some reason.
Okay. This was, I just deleted the space and that might have solved the problem actually, but I can send it here in Discord as well, and I'm gonna debug and hope that oh yeah, that did it. That's
Really?
the trick. It was the
Okay.
space. Yep.
Yeah.
Do not put a space between uClass and
Don't
parentheses.
space your shit weirdly.
I think IntelliSense did that for me though, so that's really annoying. But
Yeah.
okay, good. Thanks.
You can't find player in the folder in UE. Yeah, we created one. So just create the blueprints player and then put it in there. Okay, cool. Oh. Yeah, okay. So let's see, open BP car, and since we haven't added anything in blueprints, we have to go to this open full blueprint editor to actually see everything. And now we can see we have a box collision. How nice. So that worked. So let's add a mesh Let's add a mesh then for the player. So I'll add a cube. That's gonna be our car. That's a car. I wonder if actually I can make this box collision actually the bottom be at the bottom. Doesn't seem so. I can only change the extent. Okay, never mind. So you center the little car mesh there, and then I'll just wrap the box extents around to fit around that. So the general rule with root components, since again the root component is kind of the actor's transform, right? So like the position and the scale and the rotation of the actor is just the position, rotation, and scale of the root component. That actually means we can do very little with the transform of the root component. We cannot move the root component. Whoops. Since if we did move the root component, that would mean we're moving the entire actor, so that doesn't really make any sense. So that's why when you select the root component, you have very scaled down or very limited transform options here. We can do the scale, which I think actually scales the actor by default. So we're just kind of changing what the default scale for the actor is. But alright. But we can do change the box extents, and that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna make the box extents kind of fit the little car here. Maybe I should just download one of those car mesh packs. I see now that I fucked up. This was the forward of the car, but of course the x-axis is this way. And in general, the forward vector in Unreal is the x-axis. So I realized I fucked up. So I'm just gonna rescale this to that the forward is actually forward. Like that. Yeah. I fucked up. That's my bad. There we go. So now we have a box collision that vaguely resembles a car. Let's have some wheels on it. Let's make a nice color for this guy as well. I'm gonna make it red. Yeah, very good. Let's add some cylinders. That's gonna be the wheels.
Emil,
Yeah.
I fucked up too.
What's up?
It
what
won't
happened?
compile. It says cannot open source file racecar.generated.h.
Okay. Screenshot your header file.
I have the same problem.
Screenshot your header file. Oh, that works too.
Oh, sorry. I just
I can't resize my cube.
Did you make it the root component?
No,
Um.
it's inside box collision.
Well, it might be because the CPP file isn't compiling. That might be the problem. So, the problem is that you didn't declare a constructor in the header.
Oh,
So you just need to declare that. Yeah, try now. Yeah!
yay. Okay,
Hooray!
take over.
I'll take it over. All right, David. What problems did you have? Oh, Daniel. Sorry.
I have the same problem as Emilia.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm not sure. I thought I wrote everything correctly, but for some reason it just won't work.
Classic.
I'll just share my screen. It's faster this way. Can you see anything?
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought I wrote this correctly, but it just can't open the racecar.generated.h.
Yeah, so that include there. Again, you have like build plus IntelliSense. So again, I would not look at IntelliSense for errors. I would just look at build.
Yeah, but I tried to build it, but
yeah.
still
So
this
where it
thing.
says like build plus IntelliSense.
Right, this thing here.
Yeah. Do build
build
only. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
And then start regular build while live coding is active.
Yeah, okay, so your first problem is that you haven't forward declared the box components.
Oh, here up here.
Yes. Yeah, and then you need to include it in the CPP file.
Here.
Yes. It's gonna be components slash box component.h.
Like that.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
How did you change the color of the cube?
Just press it and then you select another material.
Oh,
Just took this basic asset 01. Shit's basic, dog.
I got no materials.
You got no materials?
yes, same. I don't have any materials.
Yeah, me
Uh,
neither.
You might
This is
go.
gonna be a
Yeah,
boring
okay. You
car.
have to go into view options here, and then show engine content. Yeah. So that's how you see some engine materials you can use. All right. Let's see. Let's make a wheel. So there we go. It's a wheel. Let's turn off snapping real quick. There we go. Looking hella fancy. Then let's copy that over. Left wheel. Copy that. There we go. Copy that. Boom. Man, look at this. And you say I'm not an artist. Yeah, well, I don't hear you speaking now, because obviously you've been wrecked. Okay, so a general rule of thumb for this kind of things, when you're making this kind of gameplay critical things, is that you want to have a little bit of control over collision. So you want to have one component, usually, like in broad strokes, you want to have one component that just represents the collision of your thing, especially for pawns. So for pawns, we have this box collision, right? So that's going to be everything that goes to gameplay. It's going to be using this box collision. So this is going to be the hitbox of our car, essentially. And then what you want to do is that every other mesh on the car is just not going to have any collision. It's going to be purely just for visual effect. So I'm just going to go select all of the meshes now. Go into collision here, the setting and details, and you just turn it off. So I'm just going to go into this collision presets. And instead of block all dynamic, we're going to do no collision. I'm just turning off the collision of all the meshes. They're only there for visual help. So we can actually see where a car is.
I don't get the car class to show up when I try to make an actor.
You're using live coding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, use restart.
Okay.
Like, that's the problem with live coding. It doesn't always work. It's not like Unity, where you can just add anything and it just works. In Unreal, it's kind of like, yeah, it works when you're recompiling like C++ files. But if you're making new classes or you're adding new properties or adding new functions, then it won't work. And it's kind of not always quite obvious when it will work and when it won't.
Yeah,
So
I
I just find
tried
it.
recompiling everything and doing the generate project files and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
was
I just
confused
find
when
it
I couldn't find
easier
it.
and more consistent just to always recompile. It only takes like 10 seconds. It's like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But can you change the engine? Can you change the engine materials? I guess you can. That's scary.
Unreal is behaving like I don't know what. The stuff I add, the cube and the wheels, it's like they don't show. They're just this little ball in the viewport, and for a second after I had restarted the Unreal again, I could change the size and like see it in the viewport, but it's like I only see the collision wire box, and then on the cube and the wheel I just see a small white ball, and I can't like change size or anything on it.
Did you set your box collision to be the root? Like this on my screen?
Check in. Box collision, root company, box collision. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, show your screen. And then we'll take a break. Show me. Show you. Gregerman. Gregerman. Okay, that looks good. So you created from the Unreal. So you get like your fill out your copyright notice. That's good. That's good content.
Yeah, I created it from within Rider.
Okay, so let's see in blueprints what's going on. Whoa.
I wasn't sure. How do I even get?
Did you?
Where's even the main window?
Oh, you might have to pull. If you pull on BP car, it's probably behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure where you created this stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if
good.
that's an issue.
Yeah, he's blueprint player. Yes, looks good.
And it's like that. I see the wireframe thing of the box collision.
Yeah.
But these two, they're just this little ball, and
well, you scaled them up by 1,000. If you just reset that. Yeah, and the same for the cube. Yeah, there they are. Did you scale the box?
Okay.
I think you scaled the box collision as well. Yeah, you scaled that up by like 1 billion.
Yeah, I was thinking it's centimeters, so.
Oh no. Or yeah,
not
like... really. The scale is like that depends on how big the default box is, and I think the default box is like 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter.
Oh, okay.
So for that, this is kind of why collisions are nice to add as root components, because we don't have to change the scale. We can just change the box extents instead. So you see those like those box extent properties there on the.
Oh, there.
So you can change the size of the collision without actually changing the scale, if anything. So you just change those, so you don't have problems with scaling everything else.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's your problem.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Emil,
yeah.
I would like some help also.
Yeah.
I think there's I'll share my screen.
Yep.
Wait. How do I?
It's the arrow. It's like window? The box with the arrow.
Okay, there. Okay, I think there's they can't find the files. I have never like coded anything on this computer in Unity, so it says missing class in class declaration, so it can't like find stuff.
Oh, you did U class semicolon, but there's no semicolon after U class in generated body.
Wait, what? Where? There.
You have U
Okay.
class semicolon.
Generated body has a semicolon. Yeah, needs to be removed.
Yeah.
That one.
Also, there's a underscore, so it's generated underscore body. And it's also a race car with a big A, not a small a.
Yeah.
But I typed it with a small. Okay, well, whatever. I changed both of them.
Yes. And you have class U box component with a small u, and that's also a big. Should also be a big U at the beginning, at the top of the file.
Okay.
You probably also want pragma once at the beginning of the header file, like a hashtag pragma once. Perfect.
Together? No?
No,
Like
yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly like that.
Cool. Alright, I'm not sure that it will work, but I'll try compile.
Okay, let's see. No pre. Oh yeah, you wrote public pawn in all small letters. It's supposed to be a pawn.
Also missing a question mark at the race car generated.
Sorry?
You're missing a quotation mark at the end of line 3.
Oh
Shit.
yeah.
I miss like everything. What the fuck? Okay.
Slarfel. Yeah, it's a pawn, like big A, and then just pawn with a big P.
Yeah.
Not
And
all caps.
AWN should be small also.
Yeah.
Apan.
Big P, a pawn.
Oh,
there.
pawn. A pawn.
Monkey.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Fuck. No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Include expected file name or file name. Okay, so that seems to be in racecard.cpp. So let's go there. So let's just double click that error. Okay, or that. Yeah, you forgot some quotation marks in the include components / box components.
Fuck. Okay. I'll try again.
You also misspelled default there.
Default.
So create default. Yeah, there's an extra A there. It shouldn't be there. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, you wrote box components.h, but it's box component.h.
It's a lot to think about.
No. The components was right, but box components you wrote in blue plural, but it's just like that.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice work, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Sweet. Let's take a little break. So, let's take 10 minutes. So we'll get back 11:25. Sounds good.
Could you just show me what components you added to the car?
What are in the blueprint or?
Yeah, in the blueprint.
Yes. You said there's some cube and some cylinders.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, David is cool. Hey Simon, can you mute your microphone? You have like a air horn in the background.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Hello. What do you mean, is there no easy way to move components in the BP hierarchy? You just move them.
But they don't move.
They don't move? They
Yeah,
should.
I can only attach them to other stuff.
Oh, you mean like you wanna have this above, like the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, I only found that like attaching and then reattaching to the like root to get them to the bottom.
I see.
Emil, are you there?
Yep.
I have a question. Is that okay?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. What's up?
Well, you said in the error list
In
that
the
you
error
should
list?
put like build only, or in the error list. Change it to build only, so you only see the build errors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to sort of do the same for like the compiler? For example, generated body is constantly red, but it still compiles basically, and that's very confusing to me.
Oh, I don't know actually. Let's see. IntelliSense. So it's a way to disable IntelliSense squigglies.
Yeah, but like, because you don't want to disable them all.
Here,
Like, example,
disable code analysis squiggles.
is that
Wait, yeah. I guess you can turn this on, try to see if that works. Let's try it. It's true. Nope. That was something else. Let's try again. Squiggles. Disable C++ code analysis experience. I don't know what that is. What is this? Oh, yeah,
mean,
here,
if it's not-
IntelliSense. Disable IntelliSense. Yes. True.
Then why did we get into
Yes. Yes, Queen. Wait, it disables highlighting as well? Oh,
Yeah, you
fuck.
turned off the entire IntelliSense.
Oh, shit. Okay, I don't want to do that. Squiggles. Okay, let's just turn that back on. Sorry. Sorry, Unreal. Or sorry, Visual Studio. Yeah, disable squiggles. True. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a squiggles.
Yeah, disable squiggles in IntelliSense. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. It's probably gonna backfire
That's
eventually.
it's probably gonna fuck you up. No, but I think
I'm not gonna turn off.
I'm too scared.
It's too risky to like make it just like a misspell somewhere. It's not gonna show basically.
Well, I mean, that's kind of I want to normalize just like get your error reporting from the build rather than from the squiggles.
Yeah.
Because the build is always correct, while the squiggles are kind of like sometimes they correct, sometimes not. Who knows?
It's just that it's confusing. Like, okay, my thing is not compiling, and I see red things, so it must be the red things, right? Oh no,
Yeah, exactly.
they're not doing
Then
anything.
It's like,
so
no,
it
it was
still
actually
works.
you just misspelled a word.
Yeah,
somewhere.
And that's just confusing to me. But if that's the way you've got to you need to get in the errors into your head, I guess.
Yeah.
Understand them.
Oh damn, that's a fancy ass car, dude. Holy shit. Is this Mario? Yeah, it's facing the Y direction. You probably want to rotate it so the car is facing the X direction.
Emil, I have
Yes.
a question.
Yes, shoot.
So I'm trying to resize my box collision component after I've added like cylinders and stuff, but then everything resizes. Do I have to get rid of the?
So you probably don't want to scale anything.
Okay.
You don't want to scale the root components, because then you get the problem that everything under the root component scales. Instead, just change the box extents.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So just reset the scale, like fix everything, and then you just resize with the scale with the box instances. Then.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
But not that everything has to be like realistic numbers, but just to keep, just to know from one thing to another where you are in size. How do you size things to know what you're doing?
Well, usually, when we're working like this, like obviously we have no frame of reference here. I might place this in the level just to kind of see. Okay, it's quite small. I mean, in the end, like the player, like an empty character, like you can see that the car is kind of small compared to an actual player. So the way this would usually work is that you just place it in a level and see how it looks. If you're super fancy, you could perhaps like I think these numbers will be centimeters. I think. So if I make this,
Wait, what numbers are those? Are you on the collision?
yeah, these are the box extents. So I think if I do 175 here, that should be 175 centimeters. Okay, that's way bigger than 175 centimeters. Yeah, so I don't think Unreal is super consistent with these values anyway.
Okay.
You know what? That might be twice. Yeah, I think the reason that's fucked up is because it's twice. Yeah, I think this is the radius of the box. So it would be 175 divided by 2. Yeah. Yeah, that
Okay.
looks better, yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So these numbers are the radius of the box, not the like the actual diameter of each side.
Okay.
So if you have some numbers that you want to plop in, then you can do that. But usually I just place in the level and see what it looks like. Usually you have some sort of mesh or something from the artists as well, and then I will just make everything just fit that mesh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring this back.
Sorry to bother, but something seems to not be working still for me.
Okay.
Could you just like I'll just share my screen again.
The box with the arrow in it.
Yeah. So it doesn't turn into a box
Okay.
collider or when I compile. And I don't know why. Because now the code should be like correct.
Yep. Oh, you have two editors open. That's a little bit scary. Just close them both down and open it back up just to make sure. What the hell is that in your back? Is that a fan or something? Is that your computer?
It's my computer.
Holy
I don't
shit!
Have
Jesus Christ!
It's fighting for its life.
Yeah, Unreal's making it work.
I thought you're sitting next to next to an airport or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see now. Okay. You're not you're not
it
inheriting.
Doesn't turn into a box.
You're not inheriting from your car. You're inheriting from pawn. No, in your blueprint.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't make you didn't inherit from your car. So you go to File, then Reparent Blueprint, and then you search for your race car. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So there you go.
Okay.
Easy fix.
Epic. Now I'm almost there.
Sick.
I don't have to. Did you? Okay, good. Never mind.
I took it from you. All right. Cool. So we have our car. Very nice. So let's place it in a level and actually possess it so we can start playing. Just gonna place it in a level. Gonna hit end. Remember, end is the keyword to make it actually snap to the ground. Boom. And then I'm gonna go into the car. So I'm just gonna click the car. Scroll down until I reach here, pawn. And then I'm gonna do auto possess player 0. So let's play. All right.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, so now we can't move, we can't do anything, but at least we're possessed, so that's good. Possessed by the devil. So at least that works. So it is a pawn. We've confirmed now that this is in fact a pawn. And yeah, cool. So now let's just set up some basic input before we start working on the camera, because this is going to be super annoying. Like, it's supposed to be a top-down game, and it's going to be really hard to see what our car's doing if their game is not actually top-down. So let's just make some basic input before we start working on the camera.
We can't see your face, Emil.
Oh shit. Can't see my hashtag funny faces. Okay, so let's start with input then. So we want to bind some input to this bad boy. Remember the way that we did this in Blueprint was that we went to the settings, project settings, input. Oh, that's nice. It's actually empty. Input. And then we added some axis and action mapping. So let's just do that. Let's just add accelerate, I guess. And I'll add turn right. So accelerate is just going to be W. And then S for negative accelerate. So let's add W and S to accelerate here in the axis mappings. And then I'll set the scale of S to be -1. And yeah, I just hit this keyboard here and just typed S on my keyboard to get the S there. So for turn right, I'm just gonna hit the keyboard here and hit D. So D is gonna be our turn right 1. And then I'll do A, and that's gonna be a -1. So it's gonna be turn left, right? Okay, and that's all I'm gonna do for now. So, and the way we bound this up in Blueprints, remember, is that once we've added the axis mappings, we could just right-click and just do like turn right. And then we had an event for it. Very easy. Works a little bit differently in C++. So we're gonna hook this up in C++. And the way that it works for pawns, which is quite nice, is that in the pawn we have a function called setup player input component. So instead of player input component, that's a function we're gonna override, and that's where we used to add all of these bindings. All right, very easy. So let's do it then. So I'll just do void setup player input component. It takes an input component as a parameter, input comp. It's gonna mark that as override. Whoops. There we go. Very easy. So let's implement this function. So the way with it that we set up bindings is that we call on input component. We're gonna apply. We're gonna call functions bind axis for binding axes, and bind action for binding actions. All right. So those are the functions we're gonna call, and we're gonna bind an axis because that's all we have right now. And we're not going to use this method. I'm just going to scroll down, and we're going to use this one. So bind axis, and then first we have an f name, which is essentially just a string. We're not going to talk about the difference between f string and f name right now, but you can think about f name like a string. So it's a string to the axis we want to bind. Then we have the object pointer, and that's just going to be the callback. So we're going to bind callbacks, essentially. So this is going to be the object that wants the callback. And then here we have the function that we're going to call when, this axis changes. So we're going to bind exactly the same way we bind in Blueprint, except we have to call this function used to bind that event. So for axis name, I'm just going to make a text, and I'm going to bind accelerate. Then for the object, that's gonna be, the object that gets called when the axis changes. So that's just gonna be this in this case. This very rarely you would call a function on some other object when an axis is for an axis callback, but whatever. And then we just need a pointer to this. A pointer to the method that we want to call whenever the axis changes. So here I'll just type the address of a race car, : whoops. And we'll do handle accelerate input. That's a function we haven't made yet, but we're gonna make it soon. So we use that, put a pointer to that method or member function. So whenever the accelerate axis changes, this handle accelerate input will be called on our race car. Ain't that nice? Ain't that something? Wow. And we're gonna do the similar thing for turn right. So then we're gonna do handle turn right input. How nice. Welcome to the wonderful world of Unreal. So let's make these functions then. These handle accelerate input and handle turn right input. I'm just going to give you guys a second to type while I ponder.
Is the string the name of the input thing in Unreal?
Yes.
Input.
It's the same name we put in the input settings. Alright, so the axis functions look like this. So we'll do void handle accelerate input float value. So this is signature. Use the void function that takes one float. Very nice. So that's going to be handle accelerate, and then we want to do handle turn right input. Let's just define those. Whoops. There we go. All right. So in accelerate input, we're just gonna print. I'm gonna show you guys how to actually print, like the print function in Blueprints, just so you know what it looks like. And we're gonna do that with get world, and then add on screen. No, oh, it's maybe not world. It's G engine, I think. Yes. Okay. It's called as G engine, which is a global variable for the engine class or the engine instance. So you call G engine arrow add on screen debug message. So that's sort of the same as print in this case. And there's some things. We have key. We're not going to use key. Key is for kind of if you want to change messages that are kind of already on screen, I think. I'm not quite sure. Let's actually go look at this. I'm just going to go to the definition just so we can kind of take a look at it. Key. A unique key to prevent the same message from being added multiple times. Okay, that's why. There's supposed to be like a default that you can add. Like a default key that won't add on screen. Add on. Okay. Hold on. Code declaration, please. bnever top only works with key equals index none. Okay, so I'm guessing the index none is like the default. So just type index none. I usually do -1 here, I think, but index none, sure. Okay. That's key, and then we have time to display, and that's, you know, how long this message is gonna be on the screen. I'm gonna print every frame, so I'm just gonna type 0. So every frame, or, you know, this is gonna be called essentially every frame. So I'll just do 0 here. So it will only be, the message will only be on screen for 1 frame. Then we have color, that's gonna be the color of the text. I'm just gonna do fcolor : and then we have some default colors here that we can choose. So I'm gonna do magenta. It's my favorite color. And then we have the actual message. So yeah, we could type used anything. Hello. But we, of course, want to format something. So I'm just going to do fstring : printf. So the printf function works like printf in C++. I don't know if you guys, if we ever used that. I think we did. I don't remember. Where we provide some sort of format string, and then we provide sort of the arguments at the end. So where, you know, what should be inserted into the string. So I'll do the format. Let's just multiple lines this because it's getting a little bit too long. There we go. So we're gonna do accelerate, and then I'll do %f for float. Again, if you want to look up all of these specifications, there just Google printf specifications or specifiers, and you'll find them. But I'll just tell you that floats, if we want to insert a float into the string, we do %f. And then in arguments, I'm going to do value. There we go. So it's going to print the accelerate : and then just whatever the value is. B newer on top. Actually, both of these are just defaulted to true and unit vector. So I'm actually gonna just not give these. I'm just gonna skip these. So I'm just gonna end there. So this is the final function call as well. Index none for the key, 0 for the duration, color magenta, and then, you know, whatever the string is. So it's gonna be this accelerate f print string. Printf. Oh, I should say, by the way, this doesn't print to the console. This will just return a string that has been formatted. I should say that. So printf would print to the console in C++, but in this case, it's kind of printf just means make me a string with this format. It's kind of like string formats in C#. You can see it like that. Okay, I'm gonna copy this for turn right. I'm just gonna change the format string to be turn right. And then the float. Let's make it a different color. Let's make it red. Why not? Cool. Let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna restart. Okay. I didn't save the map. Whoops. Just drag the car out. Make sure it's on the ground. Go into the car. I'm just gonna search for auto possess. Okay, never mind. No. I've selected floor. Lol. There we go. There we go. Auto possess player 0. I'm gonna save this time, so I get this. So now we're gonna save the map or the level. So I'm just gonna make a new folder, level. Level A. And then call this test map. Sure. There we go. So now I've saved the map. And now if I play, then we get the debug prints up there. So we can see that accelerate works like it should. So if I hit W, then accelerate is 1. If I hit S, then accelerate is -1, and turn right becomes 1 if I hit D, and turn right becomes -1 if I hit A. So it seems to work like it should. Ain't that something?
Mine's not working. Could you show the code again?
Yes.
Do you have to do something like inside of the blueprint?
No.
Nope.
I get a build error, but I think my code is exactly the same as yours. Am I blind?
Let's try it. Show me. Show me. Show you. What's your build error? Oh, you haven't typed, yeah, when you defined handle acceleration input and handle turning input, you didn't put the class name : before that. When you define them in the CPP file. You have to put like a race car : handle turning input and so on. So you're actually defining the member method or the member function. There you go. Run with, don't run without debugging, by the way. Run with debugger attached. I think that was a habit that you guys picked up from the C++ course, because that would make the command prompt like stay open when you were working with the pure C++. But it's not a great habit. Let's try to get back in the habit of running with debug mode. So then if it crashes or something, then it works.
Thanks.
Which mode were we supposed to run? Development debug or
development editor. It's the configuration you should run. When I say like with debug, then I mean like with the debugger attached. So you can see in my screen that like I have the stop button here and everything. So I make sure that if I stop the debugging, then the Unreal actually closes down. So you don't have like multiple instances running at the same time and so on.
Mine's still not working, but I'm not like getting any errors or anything. Is it possible that there's like some setting that I've missed that makes my game not display the debug?
Sorry?
Is it possible that I might have like missed to check some kind of box so that the debug messages doesn't show up in the play mode?
I doubt it, but let's see.
Is your car possessed?
Yep.
Possessed by a demon?
Yep.
Okay, let's see it.
Should I screen share or?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
Go, man.
So this is my play. This is the possession mode.
Yep.
The bus is rotated in the wrong direction, and I apologize for that. But I press whilst and nothing's happening.
Okay.
The code.
Man, you kids and your spacing.
Yeah.
Text space accelerate.
The IntelliSense does it automatically.
Okay. Well, did you set up the inputs in the input settings?
Yep.
You named them the same thing, right?
Yep.
Let's double check that. Accelerate, turn right. Yeah.
It's wrong. It's accelerating in the script.
Well, that's just, wait a second. But right here, that's just the debug message, right?
Yeah, that's just.
Oh, my bad. I saw the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Did you override setup player input component if you go to the header?
I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, try debug breaking in so put a breakpoint inside of setup player input components.
Yeah, sure. Like right here?
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Okay.
Just like, let's make sure. Oh, you don't have to restart. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
I guess. Well, wait.
Oh, wasting my time, Tove. Oh, I could have done so much teaching in this 5 seconds. Okay, so let's play. Let's see if it breaks.
Yep.
Nope.
Wait. Oh wait, I don't have. I haven't.
Oh
opened
yeah,
the map. My bad.
yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so it does break.
It broke pointed.
It broke pointed.
I have input component instead of player input component.
Yeah.
Is that the problem?
What?
Maybe. Joao typed in the chat that I have input component instead of player input.
Check your race car.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, you have you're not using the input component that's being sent in. Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah, that checks out.
Weird. I don't know if that's the error though. Let's try it. So
let's. I can.
Oh yeah.
I will have to restart now, right?
Yes, you will have to restart.
Yes.
You're right.
Mine works though with the wrong ones. I have input component.
Yeah,
while I'm sending in player input
wondering.
component.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's actually the error or not. Can you remove
But you said that yours didn't work, Thomas. Does yours work now?
Yeah, mine works now.
What did you do?
I instead of doing text string, I just put the string there.
Ah, fuck.
So it was just a minor issue that I did.
Right.
But you do have a space though in front of bind access.
Yeah, the space does kind of freak me out a little bit. But let's try it. Remove the break.
Remove the breakpoints.
Okay, and then you just hit F5. No, it still doesn't work. Okay,
Oh.
it's okay. So that's
Okay, I'm gonna check if the spacings are
Yeah, check the spacing.
screwing me up again. You can
Do
continue.
you even need the text macro there?
Yes.
Okay, but it's working for me without them.
Oh, well, use them anyway.
Yeah, I had the similar issue in my other project. I could just do like a straight up string. I didn't have to do the text thing, but here I have to do the text
It's
thing.
the kind of work. It's the kind of thing where it sometimes works, but if you try, like at some point, it's gonna break and start giving you some shit, like giving you like Chinese characters instead of doing stuff like that. It kind of depends on which function you're calling, if they're type defing, or sorry, if they're templating the input type or not. So if they're templating like, oh, you could pass in a C string or a white string. No, it didn't work.
What is the warning on handle accelerate input?
I need to set something up in the blueprint because my stuff doesn't work.
No, my blueprint is clean.
What does the green error on accelerate and turn right say?
Member function can be made static.
No, on the text accelerate.
Right
There.
here? Right. It's not a name of any input text. Oh!
Are you doing input action and not input axis?
No, I think I did access. Let me double check.
Emil, can you show your code again?
Well, I'm helping Tube right now.
I have the same issue. Exactly the same issue.
Yeah, it's access. And it's the exact same spelling.
Try
That is so wonk.
try calling super setup player input components. This is strange. I can't pinpoint
like super, like this.
Yeah, before you do the binary access there. So on a separate line, yeah.
Okay, super.
Might actually be the problem.
Like this?
Yeah. Let's try that.
The method is empty.
That's just empty.
Still.
Okay,
Yeah,
then it
it's
won't.
just empty.
Then it won't.
Just empty code.
Yeah, then it won't do anything. What am I
Wait,
doing
really?
differently?
Very, very quickly, when you go to your header, how does it look like?
Looks like just a sick header. It's like a sick, awesome, cool header. Wrong map.
I know that sometimes you can't trust like the like error messages in Unreal, but
Try
I feel like
putting
it's
a
really weird
time.
that it's...
You know what? Just add the U. Just break. Just put a breakpoint on add on screen debug message. Maybe it is those are just broken.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe for some reason these don't work. No, it's not gonna
Yeah.
call it on.
It's not reacting. Okay, so this is it's not recognizing this as a name of an input.
Well, I mean, I don't really trust that warning, so.
Okay. Okay.
When you press play in Unreal, do you click on the window so you actually take like control?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, I can add the breakpoints again. So I can double check. Yep.
Huh.
Like I am.
What the heck? Let me see your blueprints. What if you remove those? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, that was the problem.
That
So
was
you
the
had
problem.
them. You
Thank
had
you.
them already bound in blueprints, and
Right.
apparently that overrides any C++ binding that you have to those input axes. So that was the problem. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I've never tried doing that. So.
Cool.
Okay, cool. I learned
you.
something.
Wait.
So to sum up, the error was in Tuve's blueprint. I'll just sum it up and then we'll take lunch. In Tuve's blueprint, she had added the events like this, like the regular input events like this in blueprints, and that apparently was overriding any bound that she was doing in C++. so they would just weren't called at all. Which is interesting. I didn't know. I was assuming they would just call both, but apparently it just calls one, and then in this case it preferred the blueprint version. So yeah, if it isn't working, just make sure that in your blueprint you don't have those in your blueprint at all.
Does this mean that you kind of have to decide whether you want to handle input through C++ or through blueprints? You can't do both?
Yeah, it seems so.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good thing.
That's good to
it
know,
would be
yeah.
nice if there was like an error or something, but I guess not. Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
still doesn't work in my case.
David. Okay, let's check it out after lunch. So I don't keep people waiting. So let's save that one for later, and then we'll look at it after lunch. So now,
Okay.
Eat some good ass food. Eat some Taco Bell, maybe Pizza Hut, and I'll see you guys back 13 sharp.
We have Taco Bell in Sweden.
I think in one place probably.
We have in Skellefteå.
Oh my god, okay, Skellefteå confirmed better than Stockholm. Okay, I'll see you guys
Can
back.
you keep code open?
Oh yeah, okay, I'll keep code on.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll see you guys back in 1 hour. Okay, bye-bye.
My shit ain't working.